Max Wardell here, Overhead Athletics, joined by Chris Pagano today. Chris is one of our stud junior pitchers here, and we're working on a constraints-led approach to arm action. One thing we've noticed with Chris is that he gets really deep, and he lets this baseball get way back here, and his arm has had a tendency to drag through the throw with a low elbow position. So what we've done is a lot of different constraints that we've placed on him, from pre-positioning to momentum-based constraints, and now we're going to use some physical obstructions as constraints here to alter how he throws. So come to your set position, and we're just going to have him throw some pitches, and we've got the nice tap ball here, the connection ball from Oates Specialties. Go ahead. Which has really been made popular by the Florida Baseball Armory now and the Texas Baseball Ranch. It's a fantastic tool in the right scenario. We use it a little differently than they use it at times, but the idea here remains the same. We're utilizing an external object to constrain the movement a bit into a more desirable or efficient state. So as he goes forward, good. So he's got to actually hold that ball, which constrains his arm action as he goes towards the target. And we'll alternate between this technique and a few others. The next constraint I like to place on him is a constraint of pre-positioning. So if your arm is in a specific position, that constrains the options that you have as a mover, because you can no longer choose any sort of perturbation or variation of the movement, because you no longer have time, because there's decreased time or time pressure to complete the movement, but also the position that your arm is in is only going to lend to specific movements following that at any high rate of speed. So we'll go into that after he does one more repetition here. You can see how that ball makes him keep a nice flex shortened position as he comes through that back side of the throw, which will allow him to rotate faster as he comes through, which means he's going to have less arm drag. Okay, from right there, ditch the ball. We're going to constrain you to here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to place a constraint in body position and arm position. So he's got the ball up. He's going to rotate. He's going to spread his feet out a little bit. So now he has very little time to complete the throw. He doesn't have time to get his arm into a less efficient position. Go. And the faster we do this, the more effective it is. So you go a couple more times there, and then for the sake of the video, we're going to show another variation with a physical obstruction or an external object that's going to give him a little external cueing as for how he's going to move his arm. And this is constraints-led approach in action, because he's used a little bit of the ball. He's definitely done some pre-position, but this technique here that we're going to use in a second, let's go from the full pitch now. I go right off his front toe. Can't knock over this foam roller. If he comes down and out, he's going to knock it over. Instead, he has to constrain his arm action to avoid that pillar there. So now he can no longer get back to this reached position where he likes to get back behind his body and way, way far back, because this object is in the way. And we can fine-tune the position of the object based on what we see mechanically. So we're tweaking the environment and the constraints as opposed to just telling him how to move differently. Good. And if I see if he's retracting too much and he's coming in here, I can always move the object into a different position to alter how we're constraining him. And that may even be a better position for him to allow a more authentic and natural arm action. So that's set up right at the back corner of your heel. This is a constraints-led approach to improving arm action and taking him away from that arm drag position. Pre-positioning is a great constraint. Time pressure is a great constraint. Physical objects are a great constraint, either on the arm or elsewhere. Good. So now you have two constraints that you have to manage. Let's see it. If you guys like this video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys in the next one.